so it's as I thought. You don't remember the crash, do you?
No, I don't think it's that. I remember it. Everything. I replied immediately. Surprised, he tilted his head.
You do remember? Really?
Yes.
But earlier, you... Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Anyways, have a seat. You want me to get you something warm to drink? You were unconscious for a long time. Your throat is probably dry.
He went over to the table and picked up a steel cup. With one hand, he gestured for me to take a seat. I passed behind the woman who was wrapped up in the blankets and sat down at the table with my back to the wall. Just what exactly did you mean?
What did I mean about what?
The man stood near the stove. He grabbed the tin kettle and poured some hot water into the cup. You said that I was acting oddly, didn't you?
Yeah, I said that. It's the truth, after all.
That's not quite what I mean. I'd like to know if there was any reason for it.
A reason, huh? I can try to explain. But first of all, drink up.
He placed the cup in front of me. I took a peek inside the cup and saw a reddish-orange liquid swaying lazily within. What is this?
It's chamomile tea. I found it down in the storeroom, though, so I can't guarantee it'll be fresh.
He glanced briefly at the corner of the room. There was an open rectangular latch. The hole was right next to the door. There was a ladder there. I couldn't see from here, but that was most likely the storeroom right below us.
Chamomile has a rather tranquilizing effect.
I see. So in other words, it'll calm me down.
Well, something like that.
I wasn't particularly agitated or excited at anything. But it was true that my throat was dry, so there was no reason to refuse the offer. Just as he had suggested, I brought the cup to my lips. Hut, hut, hut! But it's kind of good. A refreshingly gentle aroma similar to that of green apple tickled my nose. The hot liquid made its way down my throat, gently warming me to the core of my body. "I'm alive again," would be the expression that described the way I felt best.
That's good. That smile of yours. It's the first time I've seen you smile.
Now that he mentioned it, my face did feel like it was smiling. It was a little embarrassing. The steam rising from the cup slipped into my nose as I started talking. Now that I think about it, you still haven't told me your name yet, have you?
My name?
Yeah, your name. He sat down at the table, across from me.
Oh man, here we go again. Didn't I tell you my name just now?
Just now? Just now? When exactly was just now? I have no idea.
I guess it wouldn't be impossible for you to forget. You did seem pretty upset.
I didn't know what he meant by that. What in the world was he talking about? As I struggled to wrap my head around what he had said, the man reached into his jacket pocket and took out a pack of cigarettes, along with a silver lighter. He tapped a cigarette out of the pack and placed it in his mouth. He handled the lighter incredibly naturally, snapping it open with ease. After the crisp metallic sound faded, a red flame softly flickered into being. Carrying the flame close to the tip of the cigarette, he exhaled in a puff of purple smoke.
Yomogi Seiji. Nice to meet you.
He placed the cigarette in his left hand and extended the other to me in greeting. I gladly shook it. His palm was so thick and rugged, it was as if it was made of rock. And then, suddenly, a loud noise. Acting on instinct, I pulled my hand back defensively.
Hey! What happened? Are you alright?
The man who introduced himself as Yomogi shouted into the corner of the room. There in the corner was a square hole I had seen just a few moments ago.
Yeah, I'm all right. My hand just slipped a little, that's all.
A voice could be heard coming from inside the hole. A familiar voice. It couldn't be. I shot up from my seat.
What's the matter? Are you having another one of your episodes?
I didn't have time to answer. Before I could even think, my body sprung into action. Clinging to the ladder, I glided down along it and descended to the basement. Yuni! My premonition had been right. As I thought, Yuni was alive. He looked at me vacantly. Dozens of logs for the stove were scattered at his feet.
What's wrong?
he asked with a surprisingly calm face. I slowly moved toward him. I stopped in front of him. Standing stiff as a rod, he looked up at me.
Kokorone. Are you Kokorone?
His pupils widened as he blinked, muttering those words. Yuni!
You remember me?
Of course I do! There's no way I could forget! Filled with joy, I embraced him tightly without a second thought.
Wait!
Huh?
They might break like this.
Saying that, Yuni slowly removed his glasses. He placed his glasses on the shelf, and then...
Kokorone!
Suddenly, with a voice as lovely as a girl's, he leaped into my arms.
I missed you! I missed you so much, Kokorone!
Yuni aimlessly groped at my back. He rubbed his face against me, sniffling like a spoiled child. I cradled him closely in return. With all the strength in my arms, I squeezed him tighter and tighter. This is the second time I've been reunited with this boy. But unlike the Yuni from my dream, this one wasn't cold-hearted at all. Yuni had recognized me as myself. He greeted me as myself and confirmed me as myself. Just that was enough to make me feel very happy.
Kokorone, I have something that I need to say.
What is it?
Thank you for saving me.
Oh, you don't have to thank me. I didn't do anything at all. Yes, I couldn't do anything at that time. I had only fastened his seatbelt and taken his hand in mine. If there was anyone to thank for our rescue, it could only be God. Rather than fate, it seemed more appropriate to call this miracle from God.
But still, thank you.
I clung to Yuni's body as though I'd never let him go. I put his head under my nose and filled my lungs with his scent. We're alive. The smell of his hair, the burning warmth of his skin. Alive, alive. Over and over again, I repeated it in my mind. I trembled in joy as I stood witness to this miracle. After a while, I realized that my cheeks were wet. The small drops clinging to my lips were warmer than the chamomile tea I had just drunk.